Greetings, fellow craftsmen. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, episode 37, Furnished Workshop. The priority right now is to build a fabricator and build up steel stocks. And what I'm going to do, just so that we don't waste any material, is anyone that has particularly low construction skills is going to be taken off that docket. And I'm going to nudge some things around here to make better use of this space. So what I'm hoping to do is to build up a decent amount of steel so that we are able to start being a little bit more self-sufficient, as that has been a problem for quite a bit. And I think I'm going to conserve steel for now, meaning not having things like switches at the moment, and then eventually we'll ramp out switches when it is appropriate. So that there is the plan. In last raid, or last few raids, we do have some corpses out here to the east, as well as a map that is deteriorating. And then, of course, we have the siege site, which got defeated, that we haven't looted either. Some changes that I've made since last stream, worth highlighting. One is that the volcanic world winter is now a permanent condition. It was a temporary condition, but it is not temporary any longer. It's a permanent condition, so effectively it has lowered the permanent temperature on this map tile. It's one way to think about it. So it will never be as warm as it used to be, I guess. Another change I made is that as a result of dedication towards deep drilling, our deep drillers are now slightly faster. One of the scenario modifiers here was that deep drilling speed was originally reduced to 50%, and now now the multiplier is 75%, so they deep drill a little bit faster as a result of their leveling up and becoming more skilled. So those are some changes made since last stream. So once we have fabrication up, which will be in just a minute, we have all the benches laid out here. Another thing I was intending to do is to move the barracks for the pilgrims from farming down to the new workshop. And additionally move the tailor bench, because the tailor bench is a part of a workshop. And then that will allow us to change maybe Madsen's bedroom from the stock room, which is really a poor spot for it, over to the old farm. Because pilgrims want individual bedrooms, which would be Madsen, and then pilgrims want barracks, and stalwarts want individual bedrooms. So we can make that change. Onyx, Radlocker, Robs, thank you, and C to Keep, thank you for the gifted sub, bits, and resubs. Cheers. So there we go. We have a fabricator. So you early birds in the chat get to vote in this poll. What should be our next project? Here's the poll in the top right. And to basically summarize the options, we do not have what is considered a kill box worthy of automated turrets. So I could start investing in a construction project to plan for automated turrets. We don't have proper bedrooms and barracks, so I could also start building bedrooms and barracks. We don't have mining tunnels to include plasteel, which is a component of advanced components. And then, of course, it is also really handy to have for doors, walls, weapons, etc. We could improve our weapons and armaments. We've been crafting up a few heavy SMGs to improve our weapons, but of course there's always room for more. Or alternatively, we could upgrade the Arc. So the choice is yours, and thank you for voting. And I'll leave that up for 2.5 more minutes. Okay, moving around some of the furniture so that Madsen has a bedroom in the old farm, or the original farm, or the farm, I guess is the only one. And then the heater in here can be turned off, which saves us like 175 watts, which is not bad. Now that we're doing a bit of a harvest, I know we're very low on cotton. So I'm going to start replanting cotton so that we can continue to replace clothing that is tattered. Looking good. If I was to color the faction clothing, how much would it cost for the flower? So Tinctoria grows rather rapidly and only requires light of 30%. So it's actually possible to grow Tinctoria outside of the hydroponic farm. There is not a lot of dirt on the ground, but if I heated up a swath like this, I could start planting Tinctoria or Nutrifungus or something like that, depending on keeping it temperate. So I could at any point start making dyes, but really all it's waiting on would be, you know, the will of the individual faction members to want their clothing dyed. And that vote failed last stream, but there will be a revote on that soon. Okay, doing a bit of a batch meal production. And we are also trying to stockpile iron, as iron is the main component in steel, so that we can stockpile steel as part of one of the priorities that was above our heads. Critical break risk. Fish, could you counsel Pierogi? Let's have him do it. Nah, actually, Pierogi, you just run over there. Wow, Zeusin failed on a slate stool? I guess she has a... You know what? I did not realize the extent of her injuries from last stream. It just did not occur to me that she was one-armed. Wow. I guess I know now. I had no idea. Completely slipped my mind. Mostly because she has a arm scar. On an arm that doesn't exist? It's a little weird. I'm not really sure what's going on with her health injuries. So generally speaking, when your arm is missing, you don't end up with scars on it. I don't know. It's weird. Alright. Looks to me like you guys want to upgrade the Arc. So the current priority right now is to save up steel to upgrade the arc. Phantom limb pain, I guess. So, the next upgrade of the arc is the automatic stoker. And the automatic stoker costs 400 steel and 8 components. We, at the moment, have 23 steel, so we have a lot of saving up to do. And this involves amassing iron and coal, so that we can afford it. So as far as RimWorld goes, if you're wondering, there's no concept of an upper arm and a lower arm. It's just arm. So if your arm is shattered, your arm is removed. It's the same with legs. There's no upper leg, lower leg. So the way the body is formed in RimWorld is your torso houses a bunch of organs: liver, 2 kidneys, heart, stomach. But when those individual organs are destroyed, your torso isn't destroyed. They're separate hit point pools. But as far as arms go, the game considers a shattered arm as like a missing arm. As you can see with her manipulation, she, honestly, if anything, this is a bit of a bug, which is her left arm has 30 hit points, but her radius has 0, so it counts as her not having her left arm, despite the fact that she has 28 out of 30 of her left arm. So her manipulation is lowered as if she's missing an entire left arm, despite the fact that the game is saying it's only her radius, but given that it's only her radius, it still removes all the manipulation. Maybe not so much a bug as just like a display error, something like that. Needless to say, I'm sure you can I'm sure you can see that it isn't depicted probably correctly. The other thing that we could do in this case is pause for advanced fabrication and research prosthetics. So how about we do that? Should I pivot research to prosthetics? And if you're wondering who could benefit from it, the answer is quite a few. Not just Zeusin, but if we take a look, Axios, there's no such thing as prosthetic eyes, but Pierogi has a bunch of feet and hand injuries. We got shoulder injuries and arm injuries. The only one that would really, truly benefit would be Zeusin, getting 1 prosthetic arm. But with that said, there's certainly a bit of a benefit for prosthetics in the long run because it does lead to bionics, which would be immensely helpful, I think. And overwhelmingly, you guys think I should pivot? Got it. I'm going to start researching prosthetics. I don't think I have to leave that pull up any longer. It was like 100%. So once I have a few more days of fuel for the wood-fired arc, I'm going to move the wood drill over to the coal area and start mining coal so that we can build up our steel supplies so that we can upgrade the wood-fired arc. Slotus, thank you for the resub. Oh, and where is the treat bowl? Oh, I had to hide it from my toddler. My little shark being over here. And RCV, cheers. Yeah, prosthetics is a simple research. So what I could do in this instance is have others help with it. But in this case, I probably only want Zeusin on the high-tech research bench. So what I'm going to do is remove the high-tech research bench from Stalwarts and Pilgrims. And then create a Stalwart duplication. And this will be Zeusin. to make matters more complex. So that Zeusin is the only one allowed on the high-tech research bench, because she researches significantly faster than everyone else, and therefore should be given preferential zoning for it. Cardinal with an Inspire Creativity. You do have construction of 15. I think it is reasonable to go for another masterwork bed. Unfortunately, we're all the way up mining iron, so that's less than ideal. And then for the Zeusin zone, yeah, let's go ahead and remove her from this bench. Right you are, because she shouldn't be on the low-tech research bench, as that would be a waste of her time as well. We've got almost 4 days of fuel in the wood-fired arc queued up. And I think with that new portion, I am going to make a push to try to get our steel production up. And it's masterwork. Fantastic. Pilgrims are supposed to get preferential beds. So JD, I'm going to have you uninstall your own bed and take that one. But probably don't sleep outside, because it is negative 50 something in the base right now. Sweet. And the barracks now here is very impressive as a result of the higher level bed. Of course, that hurts colony wealth, but, you know, so be it. And while Avaxio's going for the meals, I'm just going to make an even larger stack of them. I find myself often forgetting to batch, and due to that, people starve for no reason. So let's go crazy. Louis, thank you for the resub. Okay, that's all I'm going to make. Once it starts stacking on the other bench, they're kind of hard to forbid. Was the prediction from last Sunday settled? Yes. A psychic drone male for medium. Oh, that's not good. Pierogi, you, where are you? You're hauling iron. You are going to be offered smoke leaf. Do we have a lot of it? Because your mood was dismal. And because you're not doing any important work, I figured why not. So we've got quite a lot of meals right now. 107 spilling over. We are heading into warmer seasons, so it might be possible to start looting the siege site. And then Zeusin, you can continue your research. Oh, wait, I screwed that up. Zeusin zone needs to be given access to there, at least. There we go. Alright, now she's on research. Axios, hit fish pick with work drive. Oh, you were busy mining far flung from the base. That was unfortunate timing. But while you're here, I'm going to have you come out here and read this map. Cool. It revealed nothing. Useful map. So, for close pilgrims, I'm going to start adding some of the corpses around so that they can haul the corpse. Well, actually, maybe what we'll do is have Axios just come out with Molotovs and torch the corpses. It's not snowing right now, so it should be fine. So I'll forbid them in lieu of hauling them. Significantly less work. Because no pilgrims care about dead bodies anymore. Corpses don't care. And that was a result of one of the ideological changes from last stream. Well, we really don't have a lot of smeltable materials yet. It is slow, so hopefully we make more of a push and pressure to get it. I'm going to send Fish Pick up here to micromanage iron, because he's going to be faster at that than anyone else. And the drill sites are, despite the fact that 2 of the doors are open, they're not hypothermic causing. Alright, Axios, come on, man. Just warm up. He keeps, like, wandering around, getting himself hurt. Now, it might be possible to add additional, simple research benches. The problem is, I'm not certain that I want to invest the steel in that way, at least for now. I also want to address that it would be within the rules to burn old clothing as a fuel source within the base. I'm just choosing not to do it because tasks like that add significant micromanagement for very little benefit just aren't worth my time, to be blunt. So while the biocoded weapons I wouldn't be able to, given the series rules, but like our clothing that we made could be burned for as a fuel source. I just don't want to. All right, you're shivering 9%. And I think, given how long you've been out here, it's not unreasonable to give the pilgrims access to this siege site. I think it's getting warm enough. At negative 63, it's getting warm enough that we can probably survive it. But let's not bother with the corpses. Is Pierogi going to go on another binge? That's the big question here. This psychic droner, not nice. What can I do for you? I could give you insect jelly. I also might want a so this is supposed to be a rec and dining room. You all voted for that last stream. And it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to design it in such a way that I have a like a drug closet. So I think I'll probably do just that. Because it doesn't cost anything as far as saving up for the arc goes. So drug closet is like a small room where we can put individual shelves. And then if anyone goes on a binge, it's really easy to remove access because there's just one point of entry. And storing stones nearby, blocks rather nearby, makes it really easy to stop anyone from over-consuming in that case. And it also will allow us to heat up the Reckon dining room a little bit more, because it removes total volume from the room. So we're not actually producing tea, ambrosia, beer, yayo, or jelly? I'm leaving flake out as yayo. As long as you have a source of yayo, you might as well do yayo over flake. And then wake up is not a recreational drug. It's a medical one. So in RimWorld, if you're not aware, there's two classifications of drugs. There's recreational drugs. Oh, and I guess smoke leaf. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make this closet bigger for smoke leaf. There's two classifications for drugs, which is medical drugs like Wake Up or Luciferium, and recreational drugs. And you will never, ever, ever binge medical drugs. You just don't. Not how RimWorld works. I'm just gonna move some things around. But yeah, drug closet. What is exploding? Blight. Oof. That's a lot of blight. Just a thunderstorm, flash storm. Axios in a sad wander. And paired with a flu. Okay. So 4 people just got flu. The problem is Axios just hit a sad wander, so he's not going to be easily treatable. As a result of his wandering flu. Where did he start wandering anyway? Oh man, out there? Hopefully he gets hungry and comes back into the base. I'm gonna try to tend to him, but yeah, he's already like dangerously hypothermic. So JD is coming out here to tend to him and then to like scoop him up as soon as he passes out. We did just tend him without medicine. I didn't really mean to do that. So we're gonna have to do a preach health, certainly. Psychic drone just ended. That'll help a little bit. Geez, this is just really bad timing on every possible front. So for drug assignments, I'm gonna use herbal, because we can always grow herbal. Axios, just collapse already, man. I think he collapses his... there it goes. Rescue. He's starting to get frostbite. I hope he doesn't lose an ear. And then I need to keep the hospital powered on because... Oh, good lord. Okay, I'm gonna flick everything off. This is just like a snowballing emergency. I'm gonna flick everything off inside the farm. Yo, stop. Get the... Lay down, man. Alright, frostbite. You got 3 frostbite. Can you bed rest? Let's go ahead and get another bed in the hospital for that. Fish pick in 11 hours will have preach health. And I am trying to quick tend everybody. Alright. So for the frostbite, I want to tend without meds. And then switch back to meds. So Wish, you are by far doing the worst here. So I'm gonna give you industrial meds. So the way Frostbite works is Frostbite does damage to the body part, and if it gets frostbitten twice, there's a very high likelihood that the body part gets destroyed. Fingers, toes, nose, ears. Those are the things that can get frostbitten. So for Axios, it hit 2 ears and a toe, but it didn't hit the same body part twice, so he's fine. It will recover slowly. And here we go with some matches of steel. We have 2.5 days of fuel in the Ark. Oh, and some of the virused survivors here are needing to hop out of the hospital bed, which is understandable, given that they're not being tended. And I just, so that we didn't have to clear the blight manually, I just flicked all the planters off, so that the blight, because basically every crop was blighted. So now the blighted crops got cleared of blight, just from power off. So taking a look at their health, let's see. JD, can you get back to tending Axios? And Fishpick can preach health. So JD, you are 1923. Pierogi, you are 1820. Honestly, that's not a big difference. But I'll hit Axios with it. And then Wish was the one fallen most behind and has more or less caught back up. So nobody's really in the hurt right now. But half of our population is sick, so it's going to be a minute for us to sort of make enough reasonable progress that we'll feel safe. All right, 3 of them are green, which means they're, and their icons up here, which means they're ahead of their illness, which is good. And we'll just keep a very close eye on that. Preach Health can also be used on Wishbringer. So we'll do that with Zeusin, because Zeusin's also a moral guide. Both Zeusin and Fishpick are. Fishpick for the Pilgrims and Zeusin for the Stalwarts. Prosthetics is getting closer to being done. I wouldn't say it's close, but closer. Who is working that smelter right now? There's like 2 stacks of iron over here and nobody doing it. Cardinal, haul this iron back. And then Fishpick, all this coal. Alright, the entire farm has been resown, so we can definitely flick the sun lamp back on and catch back up with the growing operations. And all 4 stricken with illness are now caught up to their recovery. Oh, we're getting sieged. Well, if this wasn't already bad enough, all 8 of them have sniper rifles, so we're not going to be able to outrange them, but we can shell them. JD shooting 6, Zeusen's shooting 14, Cardinal shooting 15. So maybe Zeusen and Cardinal? We're going to get up and man mortars, and I am going to set them to hold fire. So the plan is to have their siege site get delivery, and then try to burn them out with our shells. Okay, they have delivery. Cardinal, where are... Oh, you're operating turret. You're just not close. Alright, that was a direct hit. Now, as far as insulation goes, most of these raiders, all but one that I've checked so far, are insulated enough that the ambient temperature isn't going to bother them much. One of them will succumb to hypothermia, basically guaranteed. Where'd you go? Oh, you just, like, shelled once and then decided you were done? Yeah, that's not really how a siege works. Oh, the shells exploded. And fish got knocked out. There can only be one fish between fish pick and fish. And the imposter is dead. I hope... Okay, good. They did put the components out. Because I didn't want to necessarily destroy the components if I could help it. And they are now assaulting the colony. So... hold fire, but rearm. So we're good for more shells. So they burned pretty good. There is components that might... No, the components are spared. That's a lot of components that we'll be able to acquire. And then, of course, there's the 242 steel, because we didn't even allow their turrets to be built. So the only issue here is that they have sniper rifles, and I think what is in our best interest is to use the deadfall traps in this instance. So I'm going to change the valid path into the base to be the deadfall trap tunnel, and to trap them so that they are countered. So the valid path into the base is where Madsen is. Oh, and Madsen's 6, so he shouldn't be standing around. Zeus and Cardinal, your job is done. And sniper rifles are not particularly useful in close quarter combat, so having them traverse the deadfall traps. And now they're fleeing, because I'm guessing one that was on Tony went down due to hypothermia. Good. That ended well. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Could have been worse. And I think with the steel that we have access to from the siege site, we'll be able to, if we fetch it, incorporate into the wood-fired arc. And getting the components, because they're already damaged, is going to be a high priority as well. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow stalwarts and pilgrims.